My brother was dying in hospice. Every day I sat beside his bed, trying to accept the inevitable. Across the hall was an elderly woman who never received a single visitor. One small act of kindness changed everything. The night before my nephew arrived, she grabbed my arm with surprising strength, looked me straight in the eyes, and whispered 7 chilling words. "Drive home tonight, if you can." I thought she was confused. I was terribly wrong. The hospice hallway always smelled like fresh flowers mixed with antiseptic. Every room held a different story, but the saddest one wasn't my brother's. It belonged to the elderly woman across the hall. She sat alone every single day. No visitors, no phone calls, no balloons, no flowers, just silence. At first I only smiled when I walked by. Then one afternoon I noticed her staring at the muffin in my hand. I asked if she'd like one. Her face lit up like someone had switched on a forgotten light. That tiny muffin became our daily tradition. Every afternoon I'd bring her coffee, a muffin, and spend 20 minutes talking about ordinary things: gardens, old movies, rainy afternoons, and the family she once had. She never complained. She simply said, "The worst pain isn't dying, it's being forgotten." Those words stayed with me. Meanwhile, my brother's condition kept getting worse. Doctors quietly warned us the end was near. My family planned for my nephew to drive in the next morning so everyone could say goodbye together. That evening I stopped by the old woman's room to tell her I probably wouldn't have time to visit the next day. She reached for my hand. Her grip was unbelievably strong. Then she whispered, "Drive home tonight, if you can." I laughed softly. "I can't. My nephew is coming tomorrow." She slowly shook her head. "No. Go tonight." There was something different about her voice. Not fear, not confusion, absolute certainty. I couldn't explain why, but every instinct told me to listen. I packed my things, hugged my brother, promised I'd return first thing in the morning, and started the 3-hour drive home that same night. It felt unnecessary, almost foolish, until my phone rang. About 40 minutes after I arrived home, my sister was crying so hard I could barely understand her. My nephew had been involved in a major highway accident, a multi-car collision, the exact road I would have been driving if I'd stayed until morning. Several people were seriously injured. My nephew survived, but only because heavy overnight rain delayed his trip by several hours. If I had ignored the old woman's warning, I would have been on that highway at the exact time the crash happened. The next morning I rushed back to hospice. My brother had peacefully passed away during the night. I walked across the hall to thank the woman who had somehow changed my fate. Her room was empty. The nurse looked at me gently. "I'm sorry," she said. "She passed away just after midnight." I stood there speechless. I never got the chance to ask how she knew. Maybe it was coincidence, maybe intuition, maybe something we'll never understand. But I know this. One lonely woman, who only wanted someone to share a muffin with, gave me a warning I'll never forget. Sometimes the greatest miracles arrive through the people everyone else overlooks. And sometimes, the smallest act of kindness comes back when you need it most. Before you scroll away, remember this. Someone in a hospital, nursing home, or hospice may be waiting for one conversation, one smile, one small act of kindness. You may think you're changing their day, but one day, they might change your life.